Acheson, and I teach saxophone and clarinet at REW Music. I make lessons fun by getting to know the student, because the most important thing is to establish a connection with that student, find out what they like, what they don't like, things that they enjoy doing. It doesn't have to always be music, it can be activities like to do, and it can be even things their family does or they do with their friends. Once I get to know that student, it makes it so much easier for me to connect with them, and we can do things like they really enjoyed doing. One of my clarinet students that I've had in the past actually was a huge Taylor Swift fan. And thank goodness my wife had a bunch of CDs of Taylor Swift. And we spent probably 4 to 6 weeks working on one of the Taylor Swift tunes, and she was having so much fun. And little did she know, she was learning, because she had to recognize different pitches. She had to figure out rhythms. She was writing notes down and figuring out, and then she started noticing intonation. So I tricked her into having fun and learning something. The best thing about teaching music really is, I've heard this quote by many educators over the years in different types of venues and places, and different types of teachers, and they've all said something that has really impacted me. I get to share what I know, and I get to share what I've lived with the saxophone in my hand. The traveling that I've done, the places I've played, they're all things that I've learned, and I get to share that with these young people, and so they can start their journey with the information I gave them, and the music that I instilled in them, and the knowledge that I instilled in them. They can actually just begin their journey from the end of mine, which I'm not saying that my journey's over. But it's really neat to be able to know that these young people are going out and going, hey, Mr. A taught me how to do this, and he said he learned it by doing this, and then they can expand on it. I don't want them to stop with what I give them. I just want them to start with what I give with them, and then they can move on. Students should take lessons with me because I'm high energy, I'm fun, and it's so important to me. It's so important to me. If the students are having fun, then why are we doing this? So I love trying to find a way to any personality style, any kind of kid that's gone through things, or even adults. I've had adults that said, I've always wanted to play saxophone, which of course they should, because it's a beautiful thing. But I even found things that made them just so excited and had so much fun, because we never want anybody to take lessons and not have a good time. Yeah, there'll be a lesson or two that you're going, well, I learned a lot, it wasn't as fun, but I did learn a lot. But it's not going to be every lesson like that. That'll be just here and there. Most of them we're going to be doing stuff that you've never heard of, or you have and you always wanted to do it. So I would say you want to take lessons with me, because we're going to have a great time and you're going to learn a lot. All right, saxophone players out there, you got to be thinking about this Eccles Sonata that you're going to be playing for All-State Band. And you need to really be thinking about, first things first, look in the first line of the first movement. Do you notice that low B? Yeah, that's pretty scary, isn't it? Unless your instrument is in good condition and is responding well. So my first piece of advice is get your instrument working right, because that low B ain't gonna happen. It's gonna come out like a big foghorn, and you're gonna have to put way too much air in that thing. And keep in mind, it's piano at that point. So you can't just go, oh, fortissimo, boom, and just knock that thing out. You're gonna scare people if you're doing nice and soft, and all of a sudden, da-da-dee, people are gonna be like, whoa, we're done listening to that. So make sure your instrument's working. Bring it to the store, let the staff look at it, let them get any leaks or little problems that'll be out of your instrument. Also make sure you have a good, at least 3 or 4 good quality reeds that are ready to be played. That low note is tough to play as a piano at that level. The second line, watch out, there's actually a crescendo. The rest of the piece, there's nothing. So you have to do something with that, or else, because I've been a judge for this stuff, and I've done this for years and years and years. if there's only one crescendo and you miss it, as a judge or whoever, whatever you want to call us that do that, I would sit there and go, man, you had one chance to show dynamics and you dropped the ball. So that would stick out in my mind right away. So be very careful. The only dynamic that you really get in there that to show a difference, take advantage of it. I mean, but also keep in mind that first movement is not supposed to be crazy loud. So, but make it very significant that you can hear that crescendo.